Hi, Sketch Lab friends. Well, what's cuter than a cat? A cat squishing a marshmallow into a melty snack. Well, let's draw this chunky Pusheen s'more before it melts away. So this is going to be the shape of Pusheen's body. It's looking a little puffy Cheeto-esque. So it is a bit of an oval shape. And yeah, it is a little puffy Cheeto-like. Or maybe Tic Tac kind of oval. It's going to be our shape here we're starting off with. That's going to be the body of Pusheen. This turned out so amazing today. I'm so excited. All right, we're going to start adding on the ears. So here's the left ear. And I'm going to go ahead and erase off this construction line. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the other ear. So Pusheen isn't sitting on a s'more. She became the s'more today. So now we're going to go ahead and work on just curving that body around just a little bit more, cleaning up some of these lines. That's the great thing about Kawaii style art, is that simplicity. I'm going to go ahead and draw the tail. So I guess this is what happens when Pusheen goes camping. You can see how we're curving these lines up. So now they're cross contour lines that curve around the form. We're going to draw a little hind leg. Erasing off the little construction line there. We're going to go ahead and draw another little leg. And another little leg. So one of the reasons why these characters are so cute is because of their proportions. So you got this big body, you got these tiny little legs. And we're going to go very basic Kawaii style, just like the two black dots for the eyes. And two lines that curve down to make a little smiley face. And Pusheen is looking fantastic. I think we're going to add on a couple markings and some whiskers. Those final little details on our character. And obviously now's a good time to kind of stand back from your work, make adjustments as needed. And the Pusheen has three little markings on her forehead. Okay, so we're going to be using 2-point perspective, except we're not going to draw the vanishing points. So we're starting off with the vertical line, and I want you to pay attention to this angle right here. It's about a 45-degree angle. Changed it up a little bit. And I'm going to match that same angle. So I want those lines to be parallel. Parallel means I want them to be the same. drawing that vertical line down. So we're going to start off with the cube. That's what a lot of artists do when they draw 3D. They'll actually draw images inside of these cubes. Oh, for instance, you could do cars. If you've ever seen the 3D car books using 2-point perspective. And you can see same angle. So it kind of looks like a letter V that's a bit stretched out, right? At the top and the bottom. Some people maybe see like, oh, it looks a little bit like an open book. But if you're using real 2-point perspective, you would have 2 vanishing points that we would be drawing to. So this is a little bit of a cheat method. And we're going to match this same line. So those lines are now parallel. And this line here, that angle, we're going to match. And there goes our basic cube. So now that we have the form, now we're going to go ahead and actually turn it into a s'more. So we're going to make it 2 pieces of chocolate. So I'm going to make a mark, make another mark, and another one. And I'm just going to draw to the mark. And yes, these lines are going to be parallel with the bottom line. That's what we want. And then we're going to draw another piece of chocolate on top. Maybe it's Hershey's. I love Hershey's chocolate. It's solid. I also like Dove. Dove is pretty good. And you'll notice that these lines are once again parallel to the ones above them. Well, now we got to make it look like there's a marshmallow in between these pieces of chocolate, right? Kind of cleaning up some of these lines. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and erase these vertical lines off. And look at this, I'm going to curve a line to the left. This is going to make it look like the marshmallow is smushed in between these 2 pieces of chocolate. And look what I'm going to do here. Curve that line out to the right. Drawing a little bit of the peekaboo line that the back of that form. And you can see I'm going back now, I'm kind of curving the corners of my chocolate. Ooh, Ghirardelli chocolate is really good. I forgot about Ghirardelli. Or is it Ghirardelli? How do you pronounce it? And now we're going to add a little bit of overlapping so that marshmallow looks like it's melting, going over the edge of that piece of chocolate. So you can see we have a lot of overlapping, a lot of different layers here. Just kind of going back over those parallel lines. And then we've got to add a little face onto our little marshmallow too. So we'll do the basic Kawaii style expression with 2 dots. And then we'll also draw the little 2 little lines that curve down to create the little expression, smiley face. All right, guys. So Since we did use some construction lines today, you might want to look at the final outline here on the left-hand side. And if you don't have Posca markers, don't worry about it, because I'm going to show you how to color with value today. So in art, value refers to the lightness or darkness of a color. And so colors have value. For instance, pink is light red. Maroon is a darker red. So colors, just one color has a range of value. That would be called monochromatic. But also colors that are next door neighbor on the color wheel also have value. For instance, let's say blue-green, green, and yellow-green. That's another example of value. And that would be analogous color scheme. So those are next door neighbors on the color wheel. So when we're coloring with our markers, usually we're thinking about monochromatic, range of value of the one color. And then your other option is using analogous color schemes to create value, using next door neighbors on the color wheel. All right. So in today's color palette, for the marshmallow, I'm going to be using ivory and beige. So ivory is a light yellow. So that would be considered a tint, a color that has white added to it. And then for the shadow, I'm using beige, which is also like a light tan. And with the Posca markers, you have an option of coloring in layers. So you can just paint a layer and let it dry. And then you could do what's called cutting in, and that means go over the top of that with a different color. Another option is color mixing. So with some of those markings, I actually did some color mixing of some dark brown and gray for Pusheen's markings. These other ones here, I'm using the cutting in method, letting it dry, and then I'm just going in, adding like that darker outline, adding in some shadows. Got to add those cute little details like the rosy cheeks. And then obviously when we go back and start adding that outline back, you can see all of our detail is now readable. It's called contrast. Wow, that was a fun one today. Well, hey guys, you got to sketch them all.